The temple was a special place where people could go and worship God. A bit like Sutton Village Church. Though I don't think I'd like to have been caretaker there. I don't think I'd have made it up that hill. It was a really important place though. You might remember King Josiah took pride in rebuilding it in last week's story. People needed reminding, you see, of these really important things, and so it was written down as a reminder in 1 and 2 Chronicles. It's a bit like the way we use the internet today. If we didn't have the internet, we'd forget loads of important information, wouldn't we? Like, who won Strictly Come Dancing last year? Who was it? Can you remember? Who won Strictly Come Dancing last year? It was Kelvin Fletcher. Oh yes, did you get that? Should we do a couple more? Okay, here we go. I bet you can't remember who was the star of last year's John Lewis Christmas advert, can you? Who was it? Who was the star of the John Lewis Christmas advert last year? Can you remember? It was Edgar, the Excitable Dragon. Do you remember? It was dead sad. What about this? Can you remember who was Prime Minister before Boris Johnson? Who was Prime Minister before Boris? Boris is his hair's a bit like mine, isn't it? Who was it? It was Theresa May. Remember Theresa May? And what about this? Let's see if you grown-ups can remember who won Dancing on Ice earlier this year, just before lockdown. Who won Dancing on Ice this year? Come on, grown-ups. It was Joe Swash. Well done, you. If people in Bible times were anything like me, they needed stuff writing down so they could remember really important things like the building of the temple. I can't even remember what happened last year, never mind hundreds of years ago. Okay, shall we pray? All right. Dear God, thank you for everything we've learnt from the Bible so far on our grand tour. Thank you for all the important characters we've learnt about, and help us to keep being important characters for you, right now, here in Sutton, because your big story lives on in all of us. I pray that you look after us all during the half-term break, and that you bring us all back safely together in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Amen! Right, you know what? After all this remembering I've had to do tonight, I'm feeling a bit peckish. So I think while we sing this final song, I'm going to make myself some toast. See you in a bit.